Welcome to my channel, The Three Mountains. My name is White Eagle. Today I would like to show you another cosmic law, and to start with that I'm going to tell you about the dream I had while I was quite awake and alert. But this is what happened, this is what I saw. I am inside the house and I am invited to sit at a banquet, at a table for the first time, and to eat with other people. I don't know who the other people were, but I do know who was at the head of the table, and it was Master Samael, the patriarch of this era of Aquarius. Now, there is a law that says that to be allowed to eat at the table of the Lord, you must wear the wedding garment of the soul. Now, Master Samael is the fifth angel sent by God for this era. And this law comes from, just a moment, I'm going to show you, comes from Matthew 22, from 9 to 13. You can read the paragraph, and it says, apparently Jesus sent his disciples, and he says, so go to the streets, to the street corners, and invite to the banquet, to the wedding feast, as many as you find. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing the wedding clothes. So he came to the person and said, friend, how came you in here not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. So the king ordered to tie him and to throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So, according to the text of the Bible and the cosmic law, in order to sit and eat at the table of the Lord, you must be wearing wedding clothes. What does that mean? So you can go back and watch my video number 10 on how to build those bodies. You need to build the physical, the astral, the mental, and the causal bodies into bodies of light. As you are now, if you are at the bottom, like when I started, let me show you now my next picture. You only have something that is called lunar bodies or dark bodies. So imagine that in order to be able to sit at the table of the Lord, you need to incarnate your soul. And your soul is like receiving a lightning from the sky or from the clouds. If your body, your physical body, cannot withstand the energy of that lightning, you will just die. You will basically get burnt like a toast. So what happens? That's the reason why you need to start raising energy when you do alchemy. And in the second mountain, you will be able to build the golden bodies, the astral. So it's not only to build them for the first time, but also later on to fill them with more energy so that they become of pure gold. Once they become of pure gold, then they can withstand the energy or the power of the soul descending inside you, and it will not harm you. Now, let me show you excuse me, my next picture. This is the process of the three mountains. When you are here, not starting the path yet, not in the path yet, you have lunar bodies or dark bodies. This is how I can explain you in a practical way for you to understand what I mean by lunar bodies. It's like having a plastic pipe or tube along the spinal column, and that pipe is blocked with the ego, yeah, that is blocking the pipe. Once you enter the first mountain, you will build in the first mountain the solar bodies. Solar bodies means that as you raise the energy, your spinal column will start, passing along the spinal column. You will have energy passing up and down. So once you finish the first mountain, your spinal column will be able to withstand some energy. And as I put here, is like having a copper pipe. Yes. So inside the copper pipe, you will have copper wires along your spinal column. And this is because some of your egos have been removed. Now, what happens after the first mountain? In the second mountain, when you enter in the second mountain, now you need to strengthen, not only to build that channel, the spinal column, but to fill it with light, yes, and to make it more resistant, make it of gold. That's why they're called the golden bodies. So your spinal column is made up of golden wires this time along the pipe. And the pipe is also made of pure gold in order to withstand higher and more energy. And at this point, most of the ego is cleared from the spinal column. And finally, on the third mountain, once you enter the third mountain, you create the bodies of light. So no more of gold, they become pure filaments of light. Yes. So your spinal column has built filaments made of pure light. Now your soul can incarnate or descend in you, and the last traces of the egos are removed. Now let me show you. So once you have understood this, now let me show you in a more practical way the mountains. Yes. So you are here at the bottom or about to start the path, and you have inside you, or anybody else outside in the world, only have the dark bodies of sin, the lunar bodies, the physical, the vital, the astral, the mental, and the causal. Why are they dark bodies? Because they never practiced alchemy, so they never raised energy before. Yes. So inside that person, there is only a small fraction of conscience, of Atman, of essence inside the person. Once the person enters through the gate, he will have to build the solar bodies in the first mountain. When he goes on to the second mountain, it will reinforce those channels along the spinal column by building the golden bodies. And finally, on the third mountain, where he will incarnate, or he or she will incarnate the soul, he or she will have created the bodies of light inside him. Now, I ask you to read this paragraph in an esoteric way. In John 10:3 says, "The gatekeeper opens the gate for him or her, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them forth." So the gatekeeper, there you have the gatekeeper. So the gate will open in the parallel dimension. And your intuition, yes, your heart will be calling you by name, yes, and you need to listen to his voice and follow, yes. So after this, I'll tell you, when you finish here, the third mountain, you will be a self-realized man or woman, yes. So this is the final picture. Let's take a look at the true man or true woman. Yes, this person has grown the whole tree of life inside himself or inside herself. Yes, starting from the feet, these strange names are the names of the sephiras, or that exist in the tree of life. Yes, you have Malkuth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod is in the sexual center, as I told you that you need to practice alchemy. Chesed, Geburah, Tipereth is in the heart, and finally you have the Trinity, Kether, Chokman, and Binath. This is the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, what are these sephiras? The sephiras, psychologically, they represent aspects of our consciousness that we must regain or get back. Yes, they also need to be incarnated, and they need to be self-realized. So you don't have them as yet. Once you finish the path, then you have them. And there are in total, here you can see only 10, but apparently I read that there are 12 sephiras, and that makes sense with Master Jesus and his 12 disciples. Now you know why they were 12 disciples. So now the last thing I want to show you is that the Kether, the crown, I drew it with two little serpents, yes, rising, and the crown is similar to the crown of a pharaoh from Egyptian times. Yes, that's the reason. Now you understand why. Because the pharaohs knew about these mysteries and the secret path, and in order to become a pharaoh, you need to be a self-realized man or woman. No one could hold the crown in Egyptian times unless he or she was a self-realized man or woman. And that's why you see the two serpents, rising serpents, in the crown. And you have then the absolute here, Ein Sof and Ein Sof Aur. Up to here, I leave you with this image. Yeah, I forgot to tell you here that in the Genesis, you can see here what it says regarding the tree of life. It says that out of the ground made Jehovah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. So as I told you before, we are seeds of trees, and if you grow that tree, you will be growing the tree of life inside you, and that's the path. That's the real path. So get on with it, and please watch my video number 10 on how the serpent goes ascending on each body and creating the garment of the soul, or the wedding garment, for you to sit at the table of the Lord one day when you finish the path. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching.